welcome to Think About These Things. I'm Stephanie and this is our schoolroom, and today I wanted to give you a little tour. So I'm going to flip the camera around and give you a look at our homeschool room. This is the view of the schoolroom from the front door. When you walk in, the first thing is my desk, and I sit in the black chair. And then the white chair is kind of like a conferencing chair whenever I'm doing a one-on-one lesson with one of the girls, or they're reading me something, or if they have a question to ask or whatever. They a lot of the times come and either stand right beside me or they sit in that little white chair. And Kami sits in that little white chair sometimes too while the other two are doing their work. And then over here is a tray for them to either hand in things or me to stack some things or whatever random papers are sitting around. And then we have the CD player, and this over here is my math manipulatives. So the first one, they're all in here and they're labeled. These are chalkboard label, and I wrote on them in a chalkboard pencil that I have. So here's the Unifix cubes, clocks, money, pattern blocks, and dominoes, geoboards, and snap numbers, little counting things like here's some numbers, and here is some just like little disc things and counting bears and little color tiles and marbles, just some things that we use for like counting and things like that. These down here are fraction circles where you can make up circles out of like halves, fourths, sixths. Dice. We use dice a lot. I have big dice, I have little dice, I have these dice that have a dice inside of a dice. So we use these a lot for adding, subtracting, multiplication. We use them for a ton of different things. And then down here is just some kind of random things, wrap ups, a little game, and these are little cubes that you can blow up, and whatever your thumb is on is the multiplication or division that you have to solve. And then I have something very similar for that on the other side, so I'll just skip over here. This has, on the top is a lot of like school supplies, pencils and markers, tape, staples, things like that are all there, so they're easily accessible. And then these are all what we use for language arts and a lot of the time for spelling. So in the top is beads that have letters on them, and this I told you about in another video, it just got stuck in there. But when they do their phonics or reading or whatever, they put that up to their ear and it like kind of echoes into their ears so they can hear the sounds better. And then this is stickers. We use stickers a lot for spelling. They spell out their words with the letters, or Breely's done sight words with them, but this year she'll be doing spelling. So that's one of the spelling activities that we do, is that they spell out their words with stickers. And there's some chalk that I guess got put in there. Oh, that's for another activity we do where they write I have individual chalkboards and they will write their spelling words in chalk. That's why that's in there. And then these are felt letters. We do the same thing. They spell out their words with these felt letters. These are from Target. I got them in the dollar bins. And then stamps, again for spelling, uppercase, lowercase, different size, big, small, and then a bunch of different ink pads. Magnetic letters, again, I have a board and it's magnetic. It's actually, what it is a cookie sheet that I got from Walmart, and I spray painted it with some chalkboard spray, and so on the front they can write all their words, and then they usually flip it over, but they could use the chalkboard side. They put the magnetized letters and they spell their spelling words with those. And then this is a pin-up game that we do where we put the string across like two chairs or something like that, and they write their spelling words on the index cards, just one letter at a time, and then they pin up their words. Blocks, same thing, they write their words across on the blocks and they build their spelling words. These are, we do a thing on the other side, it's called a spelling spot, and each time they write their words on a sentence strip. We also make flour. These are Post-its. I got these at the dollar store, and they make a flower out of their spelling words. And then this is some index cards that they also use. These are sentence strips, but they are dry erase, or we have dry erase tape. So we like to use these for our spelling words and things. They can write it and then erase it real fast. And then just some blank books for writing stories, and like a little story starter thing that's back there to help them with that. Over here, this is our behavior management. I need to do a video on this, but it's basically tickets. They have different things that they can get tickets for, or they can trade them in for electronic time or TV or whatever. My planner, you guys have seen that. This is a little thing that my friend gave me, and it's letters, and then it has a Bible verse for each letter. And then down here we have some storage. This side right here is all of my teacher's manuals for Breeley's curriculum, and on the other side this is all Lisa's teacher's manuals, and in the middle is kind of some Bible things that we do both together. So this is a new book that I got, In This House We Will Giggle, and it has like a virtue of the month. So I'm going to be looking into that, trying to add that in. And then this is, I think we're going to be doing this kind of for a family devotion. So we're going to see how much is a Bible memorization. So it's the Joshua Code for kids. I can learn the Bible. And each week there's 52 scripture verses that they should know, is what it says. So we're going to work on those possibly one a week. And then there's another curriculum back there that I had bought, and I think I'm going to use after Christmas. So there's a Bible bin. These are all Breeley's extra books that she does not need quite yet. Horizons has 2 books for their math, and then these are a bunch of readers. So this is where I can come and get all of her extra stuff when it's time for it as the year goes on. This just has some school supplies, tape, some little post-it tabs. We use those a lot. And then, as I've told you before, we color code the girls. So I have some post-its, and their colors pink and blue. And then these are, I told you about again too, these are, we track the number of days of the school year. So this will be August. This is the beginning of the year. So we'll write down 1, and then the next day will be 2. And then I'll show you where we put them up on the wall. But we change these by month, so we can see how many days we did in September, October, November, because it changes by the theme of the little cutout that we put up. This is Elisa's extra books for the year. So there's her Horizons 2 book back there, and then these are some other things. This is just some extra things that I'm keeping on hand that we might need. There's like a file in here. This has a unit study for a Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe in it. And then this is some journal prompts that I pulled out. Just things that I think that I might need to have on hand. This is, again, some curriculum that we are going to be doing, Keepers of the Faith. And then this is science for the second semester. So they're right there, so they're accessible. And this is full of some CDs and a couple of DVDs and computer games. Over here we have some little, posters. I don't have a lot of posters on my wall because, as you can see, there's a bunch of windows in this room, which I love. It's nice and sunny and airy in here, but it can get hot because of all the sun, and I don't have a lot of room for posters. So I have this rolling chart cart thing, and what I have done is I have taken all the posters that we use or we need or whatever, and on here is, there's a pocket chart that has some different things on it, and then on the back is wipe off, like this is like little different charts and stuff like this. It has like a Venn diagram and things like that in it. And then on the back is a phonics charts, and there's a phonics CD that I've used for both of the girls. It just has like little songs for each of different little blends and things, and it has long vowels, short vowels, things like that. And then they play the CD and it has a little song. And those are from Scholastic. Then the pocket charts are in there. and then a big writing that has a writing thing that we did for last year for Goonie Bird. And I love Goonie Bird. If you're looking for a good book to read that does great for writing for parts of stories and things like that, different kinds of writing, read Goonie Bird. And then we did all the writing that she did in her books. And then on the front, what I did is I took these posters and I hole punched them and got these little rings, and I connected them onto there. And so we have like the Pledge of Allegiance, we have some maps on there, shapes, counting, days of the week, money, time, place value, books of the Bible, writing checklist, parts of a story. So whenever we need anything, what I do is I just unhook that and I flip to whatever poster that they need to help them. So they're really easy, and it's a nice orderly and organized way to have them so they're not all over my walls. Because this is a schoolroom, yes, but it's also our house, and I want it to look like a schoolroom, but I want it to be like our house. That's why we have these desks. I get asked about these desks a lot. These desks, we actually had this desk, and our house is very kind of like vintagey. I love vintage things. So we used to have, actually my desk used to be one of our school desks, but I kind of wanted them to have their own little desk. So we got this at like a Habitat for Humanity, like Goodwill, Salvation Army type store. And then I took a picture of it and I said, does anybody know if there's a place that I can find some desk like this? And a good friend of mine from church said, you know what, I have two, you can have them. So we drove out to her house and we got this one and we got this one, and this one's a little bit smaller, but that's okay because Cammie's smaller. So what I did, I need to wash them off for the beginning of the school year, it looks like, but I just cleaned them up a little bit, and then I put chalkboard paint on the top of them so they can actually, the first day of school it had their name and everything like written on them last year, but those have been erased obviously. So there's some pencil marks and things like that, but we painted them, and that's what they use for their desk. So underneath there's these little shelves, and so they can put some work that they've been working on. Cammie has like a little notebook under hers that she uses for coloring, and then a lot of times really does it the most. She'll slide underneath her clipboard or whatever else she's working on, and that's just like a little holding spot for them. So those are their desk. Over here we have another old desk. This is one that the desk is on the back and then the seat like flips up. So this is what we kind of use for a little bit of a reading spot. On the back I got one of these crates from Michael's, and it's full of like just different picture books and things like this. We read through this when Breeley was in kindergarten. It's full of different stories. This is a great book. And then just some Dr. Seuss and just different like things for them to read if they have a minute, like I'm working on something with their sister, or if Cammie wants to come and look at them. So that's just a little reading spot there for them. And then we have American flag. At the top we have the alphabet both in print and in cursive. Elise started cursive last year. So that XYZ fell down, I don't know if you can see it, it fell down and I tried to fix it myself, and I'm not that tall, so it's a little crooked, so Josh is going to have to come and fix that for me. This is just markers, whiteboard markers. We got a new whiteboard, that's why the stickers and stuff are still on it. We used to have like a little easel in here from IKEA, and it had chalkboard on one side and the whiteboard on the other, but when I moved everything around there just wasn't enough room for it. So we got this one, and then behind it, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it quite yet. So behind it looks like a chalkboard, but it's also, it's actually a whiteboard. And so it has on there our verse from last year. Every year we pick a theme verse. So last year was, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be pleasing in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. And so that was our verse last year. And then like a magnetic clock that we use for our little center time. So that is a board. I think that I'm going to still go ahead and write our verse for this year on it, and I'm going to have to find a spot to put it. And then a pointer from Lakeshore. And then in here, this has a little bit of more school supplies and things like this. This is kind of messy, but there's like a, I don't know if you can see it, there's a timer. All of these are like calendar dates. There's more calendar dates that we put like on our calendar. So these are organized. Doesn't look like they are, but they are. And on the top is just a few more like the actual staples that go into the staplers, and some rubber bands and some chalk and things like that. That's what's in this little drawer. Okay, so these are our bins. Back there, I forgot to show you too, there's some maps. Those are like great big maps, and those are there to pull out. So in here, this is our first little drawer. This has art supplies for our art curriculum, and this one does too. So those are all of our art supplies. The girls are, these are the art supplies that they are not allowed to touch without permission. These bins are from IKEA, and the colored ones are only like $4 or $5, but the white ones are actually cheaper. So they're like $2. So I love these white bins. This bin is full of read alouds, and these, I'm not sure if we'll get to all of these books this year, but this is ones that I've thrown in here that we're ready to read. Elise will be reading some of these on her own. She'll read this Pilgrim's Progress. And we started Little Women last year, so we'll finish Little Women and we'll move on to Little Men. And then these books, these were my favorite books. They're the Mandy series, and they were my favorite books when I was in like 4th, 5th grade. So we've read the first one together, and Elise wants to read the rest of them on her own. But I kind of want to read them with her, but I might let her go ahead and read them on her own. And then the other ones that were mine was this In Grandma's Attic, and so we will read these out loud together. These were another of my favorite when I was a little girl. We'll also finish up the Little House series. We're on The Long Winter. That's the one we're getting ready to start. And then we have the shoe books. If you've seen You've Got Mail, these are real books. So by Noel Strathfield, and we read ballet shoes last year, and we've already started dancing shoes. That's the book that we're reading right now, and my girls love these books. They're just as good as what Meg Ryan says and You've Got Mail. So Caddy Woodlawn, Wayside School, just some random books in here that we'll be reading both together and on their own possibly. We also in this bin have things for, this is all North Carolina state stuff. I've pulled out their United States, but this has election stuff in it and a bunch of things for us to study North Carolina, which is the state that we live in, and we'll be doing a lot of that after we go through the first, we're going to go through the 50 states and through the election first. So we have this little thing, just a little decorative that says the 3rd and 1st grade and 4th grade. And then over here, when you go down, these are, each of them have a shelf. So this is all Elise's curriculum. And so every day she will grab her curriculum and do what she has to do. If she has something that I need to look at, the plan is for her to stack it right here. So if I see books on this shelf, or Braley's down below, I will know that these are the books that I need to either go through with them, or that there are papers or tests or whatever that need to be filed and graded. And so this is like, they're kind of like in box. So, and then over here, I think I told you about these before. This is, we do a journal. We do like a journal, like a writing journal, but we also do a journal of all the fun things that we do. So say we go to the zoo, Elise will have to write in here about her zoo trip. Or if we go apple picking, she'll write in here about her apple picking. So it's kind of like a little memory book. So we do that for both of the girls. This is where they can keep different papers for, it's tabbed out. So it'll have like math, history, science, spelling, whatever. And if they have extra papers that they're either working on or they need to keep for some reason, they will go in this binder. And I'm going to let her create a little cover and the tabs for them on the first day of school. This is a box that will just keep extra stuff because we all know that random things just occur throughout the school year. So this is a box. Since they don't have like a desk drawer, this will be like a desk drawer for them. And this is all Lisa's school supplies. She has, you know, pencils, glue, scissors. She has a bunch of different things in there. So Breely has the same thing right underneath. Those are her school supplies. That's her binder, her journal. I want to get a journal for her that has the section where she can write, and then above it is a picture drawing spot. So I need to go back to Lakeshore Learning and get her one of those. And then she has her binder and her little storage box, and then there's her inbox, and then there's all of her curriculum. On the bottom we have our art curriculum and some Spanish things that we'll be doing, and then back behind is their boxes with their CD-ROMs for piano and their typing. And these are just these brain quiz things, and I pulled them out because I think I'm going to do these ones with Cammie and then maybe these ones with Breely. They're a little bit like a step above for each one of them, but I just pulled those out because I found them. And then in here I have these boxes. This is, again, I've not opened these yet. I know that throughout the year I'm gonna have to find a spot for some things. So I have 2 boxes ready to go that I can throw some things in. There's their dictionary. On the bottom is their paper. So this is blank paper. This is bigger, like lined paper. Then this is the younger elementary lined paper, and then even more lined paper. And this is what Cammie uses, and I give her this when she does her schoolwork. So, and then down here is a little section for Cammie. She has a little preschool book. There's a lot of these like erasable or like sticker like books, and then I do have some cutting books for her and some different things like that. This is like another one of those erasable where she can write letters and marker and just like clear those off. Some little books from Target for like numbers and things like that. So those are all full of little things for Cammie to do, keep her entertained. These are their file boxes where I've told you before. That's where all of their tests and like writing papers and things that I want to keep or for their grades, they go into these boxes. Okay, over here is my big cabinet, my big storage cabinet. At the top is a basket with just some random things that we don't really use, and then some little games in there. And then that colorful thing in the white clear tub is a huge big map of the United States. It's like a huge puzzle. So that's in there. There are actually 3 bulletin boards stuck together up there. I used to have one for each of the girls that they could put their stuff on, but we don't really have room for that. So that is just 3 of them stacked up, and we just kind of pin some stuff that they like, artwork or things that they're proud of that they did, and we put those up on that board. And I have a border for it, and I just have not decorated that yet. And then we have a few charts. We have a 100 charts in alphabet with the vowels at the top, because those are charts that they do need to look at. This is a little math center thing that we do. Today's date is, today's number is, today's shape is, pattern. So Breely and I do that together. And then Elise does do money, and she does do like fact of the day. So I'll give her like multiplication facts or something like that. Then on the other side is the spelling spot, and actually now that they're both doing spelling, I'm gonna have to maybe change this up a little bit, or I'm like maybe smaller, but they write on sentence strips and they put their spelling words there in those yellow pocket charts. So their spelling is right there for them to look at all week long. So when you open up the cabinet, on this side is some extra books. I don't think we're going to get to these books this year, but these are books to keep on hand. And then in here is different files of different, when I went through them not that long ago, there were like holidays, there was Fruits of the Spirit, there was like a pumpkin counting game. So just different files that I have that I've either printed off or I've just got ready to go. So they're in all of those. They're kind of like, this is kind of Bible, this is the kind of math, this is seasonal, and this is like language, like vowels and things like that. Then a few little school supplies. On the bottom we have stickers, and then we have some file folders, and we use these, we write out the books that Elise reads, and I guess we're going to start for Breely now, and then we actually hang these up on the wall too, so she can see all of the books that she read during the year. And here is some rulers and things. They're clipboards, and this is a little file folder, and then these little clear things that you can put worksheets or whatever in and write with dry erase and or wet erase, and then you can just clear them off, and then the paper is protected. So we also use those for Play-Doh. Maybe sometimes they'll put like a big letter or something in it, and then they make it into Play-Doh. This is full of more letters, like, you know, like these kinds of letters. We have used these for spelling or just for decorations over the years. Here's that cookie sheet I was telling you about. That's from a 4th of July thing that we did with some friends. But they can write there. This is just a cookie sheet that I spray painted with chalkboard, and then they can put magnets on the back. There's a magnet from our church. So that's the board I was telling you about. And then there's even more. There's even more chalkboards and whiteboards, so they use these for like spelling and different things. More index cards and sentence strips. This is our calendar, all the months and dates and things. This is the weather stuff that goes with it. And then there's like a hole punch and tape thing and another big hole punch. These are all math and language things that would not fit in those little drawers. So in here, this is most of the language stuff. And then that's some scales, and that's a place value thing you can't see very well, and that's more place value. And these are word families. So these are just pockets from like library pockets. And then this is the family. So we write all of the words that have like tub or sub, whatever words would go into those. So we have a bunch of different word families. So those are all of our word families. And then the index cards, and they're color coded. Like these are green, these are purple, blue. So they are in the little pockets, and then they are all color coded by the index card. And down here is a bunch of flashcards. This is all flashcards. Here is listening books, like the book is read to you in the picture book, and then you put the CD in and listen to the story. And over there is all little musical instruments and things like that. Okay, on the other side, this is again more curriculum and things. This is all divided out. This is Bible, this is math, this is language and writing. This is more language and writing and like reading. This is some preschool things. Down here, this whole shelf is all history. This is a corn husk doll we made, some wax to do some candle dipping. These are from when we went to DC. They're like historical documents. So these are all history things. Down here is science things. This is snow. We always make snow. And then Elise got this at the Smithsonian, so we still need to do that. And then this is what we are doing for science after Christmas. So that is in there. And then there's a couple extra like workbook things about space that I threw in there to go with it. This shelf, I'm really not sure what to do with. These are all the books that Elise has read in the last like year or two. And she does not have any room on her bookshelf in her room because she's got more and more. So a bunch of these are like her first readers, like Judy B. Jones and stuff. So I will be pulling them out for Breely in the next year or so. But this is her stack of have read books. So that's where they're just set in there for right now. And then we have some shells. Josh and I went to the beach for our anniversary, and they had these huge shells, so we brought them home for the girls. And then on the bottom is all of our games and things like that. There's like matching games, file folder games, puzzles, Lincoln Logs, word family things, rhyming things, alphabet bingo. There's tons of different like all learning games in this section. This is something that I didn't show you before. On the ground down here is a bucket with some twine and some clothespins and the little cutouts that I showed you when Elise finishes a book or when we finish a book together. What we're doing this year is we're making like a bunting that goes across the windows. So there's a string, some twine hanging up there, and then Elise's first book actually is already up there. So what we do is we write down the title and the number of pages, and then if we read it together or not. And then I put it up on the string, and they'll go across the room, and that way we can see how many books that she's read and we've read together, and then also we count up the number of pages. It's kind of like a little reading log. And then that's a bird feeder that goes outside. We have birds come to that bird feeder a lot. So we have a lot of windows, so that bunting will go all the way across and be like kind of like a little curtain thing for us. And then over here is our crate that has their work in it. And then this is the Year at a Glance printed out. I have another copy in my planner, but that is their Year at a Glance printed out. And then they have their drawers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I have them all emptied out and ready to go. And on the bottom is their to be done before next week bin. And then there's those big Post-its. I didn't really have a spot for them yet, so they just got set right there. So there's all that. Glass doors. Told you lots of windows in this room. And here is their calendar. And these are the chalkboard theme that I have going on. So months of the year, and then we're getting ready to start in August, and then days of the weeks and weather. And above the door is multiplication facts for Elise. This is where we count our days with those little cutouts also. So there's the book down there. We had our first day of school. So there's the 1, and then we'll go up and switch from August to September. We'll switch to apples, and then October will be pumpkins, and then November will be like little like turkeys or leaves or something, and they'll go all the way, and we'll count all around the door frame. And so we'll count from 1 to at least 170. So this is the main part of our schoolroom. There's our class pet. So that is our schoolroom. Now I have to admit that we do not always stay in this room. It is a blessing to have this room. We love this room and it's a great spot, but we do use these couches a lot. We use them a lot where we sit and we read, or the girls will just go and work on something on a clipboard by themselves. We do use the couches a lot. We do use our kitchen island a lot. The girls, one will sit on one end, the other will sit on the other. And like while I'm cooking dinner or lunch or whatever, they'll sit there and color or finish up work. There is a plug over here on the end. So Elise will plug in the computer, and she will do like teaching textbooks or write on a story on the computer or whatever she needs to get done. And then we also use it, we'll bring in a CD player and we do a lot of audiobooks. So they'll do audiobooks, or they'll listen to like Adventures in Odyssey or something like that. And then I stand here a lot while they're eating, and I do their read aloud. So we use our kitchen, both the table and the island, a lot when we are doing our school day. When we do our large group things, I clean off this table and we sit around here. Also, when we have friends over, this is where you're gonna find us. Everything is taken off the table, and we are working at this table. When we first started homeschooling, we did everything in our kitchen. All we had was this kitchen table and a bookshelf at our old house. And so we've made it kind of a comfortable spot for us, and it's normal for us to homeschool in the kitchen or in the family room on the couches or even in my bedroom in bed. Like, you don't have to have a homeschool room. We love ours, but this kitchen table really has been core for us in our homeschooling. Now, I know it's weird that I brought you to our garage, but we do use our garage a lot. This is the easel that I was telling you about that used to be in our schoolroom, but we took it out for more space. So now the girls play with it for school. On one side is a chalkboard, another side is a whiteboard, and they actually like to play school with it a lot. They'll pull out lawn chairs and have like a class. So this has now become how they play school. And then in here, some extra storage things, a silhouette, and then these are full of like felt and some random craft supplies, and this whole thing is all full of craft supplies. So there's paint and paintbrushes, more paint, there's some glue, these dot markers, dot things, glitter, cutouts, construction paper done by color, and then some cardstock, wood, sticks, markers, beads, like googly eyes, some little puffball things of different sizes and colors, yarn, paper bags, pipe cleaners. There's a ton of this. Is all the craft stuff that they can come out here and just play with, and it's in the garage because they can make a mess in my garage. That has a little bit of extra curriculum, and then Play-Doh. And then these shelves, my parents were staying with us for a little bit, but they moved out. When they left us these shelves, and they also left us these encyclopedias. They were my encyclopedias, my sister and mine, when we were growing up. So they're out here. And these shelves are empty. So what I'm thinking about doing is getting those bins that I told you were upstairs that are divided with like all of the kindergarten stuff, first grade stuff, second grade stuff. And I think that I'm going to bring them down, and my next project is going to be to put like the readers and teacher manuals and like books that we keep, and put them on a shelf for each grade. So the popcorn is for the deer, and the tricks and grits over here are for the donkey. We do not have donkeys, but the farmer behind us has donkeys, so that is why there's random food sitting over here. And then this is my elliptical machine. But this is my next project to take care of, and then I'll have even more space to store curriculum. So there's a tour. I hope that you enjoyed looking around. I hope you got some helpful ideas and tips and things that maybe you can use in your schoolroom.